Goodness gracious me! You made quicker work of those goblins than I make of my mother's famous cherry pie. Can't say I quite fancy the ingredients you've strewn all over the place, though. Not very appetizing in the least. He's cowering in a corner, hoping the human slavers will put the goblins to work before they get so bored they cut his ears off for sport. Goblins, hissing ninny hammers, the lot of them. Serves me right, for being such a great big heap of butterfingers, though. I was helping a lady create those blood devils out there, you see, but I dropped one of her bloodstones right into a particularly spiky bit of tenebrium. Crack goes the stone and crack goes my silly old skull. Next thing I know, I wake up among one-eyed freaks smacking their lips and hissing obscenities as they glare at me. Gave me more goosebumps than a flock of geese in winter. Gladly I'll correct you, for I am not responsible. I'm merely, how should I put it, co-responsible. If a slave can really be held accountable for his mistress's doings, that is. That's right. I am here, wholly against my will, dragged all the way from Heiberheim to serve the lady in red. Not my fault that I really enjoy the work I'm forced to do. Completely averse to my own wishes, is it? Merely a happy coincidence, that. Useful? Let me think. 1, don't go near them, because they'll kill you in the blink of an eye. 2, don't let them see you, because there's that blink again. 3, don't even think you can defeat them, because, well, you get my drift. Luckily, their tread is so heavy, it conveniently gives them away, so just wait for the shakes to subside and you're free to sneak past. Easy peasy. The one who dresses in vanilla, who'd you think? What? You really don't know her? I thought she was as famous among humans as Zigzags is amongst imps. They call her... oh, what was it? The Channel or something? Or Canal? No, the Conduit. That's it. Lovely girl if you're into blood devils and the like. She has a whole smithy altar ritual thingy a bit further down the mine. Wish I was there, creating lovely old blood devils. Imps don't thrive in cells, you know. They go mad. Oh, never mind Heiberheim. You don't want to go there. So cold, you need to build a fire just to pee. If you want to avoid embarrassing accidents, that is. We red imps work there for the king of the realm, the mighty Boreas, best of chums he and the lady in red. Talk about star stones all day. Takes all kinds, eh? Long story short, she fancied an imp worker, so Mittix, that's me, was given to her as a present. Kind of a letdown, really. They didn't even tie a bow around my head or anything. Jolly Rogers on a sling, are you serious? Yes, I would love to go, to meet the great Zigzags. What an honour. End of time, you say? How exotic. See you there, oh saviour of imps. I'll go ahead and prepare a nice pot of tea for the lot of us once I arrive.
Strange. Something here seems to be interfering with our teleporter pyramids and waypoint room. If we go much further, we may not be able to escape again.
We can take on whatever comes our way. Onward!
Damn those magical relics. An iron will is enough to face whatever may come.
The drowning voice in my head is gone. You saved me. What I am, I do not know. What I was, a loving, living human being. Hunters, edge, orcs and death. They took my life. They took my flesh. For tenebrium, for sauce. We died and lived again. We do not go where she goes. The conduit, the one before whom every immaculate bows in reverence. If you want to go where we don't go, where she goes, then whisper the word. She whispers. Sadakandras. Sadakandras is the key. Goodbye. Oh, Savior. You will go yonder, and we shall go to the Hall of Echoes. Fare well.
That skeleton believed its soul would live on in the Hall of Echoes.
And so it likely will. How terrible to have but one short chance at life.
Indeed. Perhaps we'll meet these souls again when we move on to the Hall of Echoes ourselves.
I see these little meetings are becoming something of a habit, Source Hunter. I believe that theory of mine holds water, after all. Do you feel it? The links between us growing stronger. It's as though we stand at opposite ends of history, and the space between is rapidly falling away. But you're not alone, are you? No. Who else have we lurking about the place? I'd like to have a word with you all at once. Ha! I assure you, nothing I've done requires forgiveness. Nor anything you've done, Source Hunter. You may be loath to admit it, but I believe our approach to certain uncomfortable matters is similar. Blood spills at my behest, if and only if it serves the greater purpose. Let me paint you a picture, Source Hunter. Imagine a world without war, without death, without sorrow, fear, or struggle. A world in which all of us, humans and orcs, imps and goblins, demons and gods, are as one, separated neither by body nor by soul. It will be done, Source Hunter. That will be our new world, our new reality. The Void has been inching toward Rivellon for eons, eager to reunite us in the single awareness that once was. It is a beautiful purpose. The greatest that has or ever will be. Why? The same reason anyone would care to create a soldier so powerful that none could defeat it. A war is coming, Source Hunter. The final war. My preparations are already bearing fruit, and soon enough the first strike will fall. The end will come swiftly, painlessly, like an executioner's blade upon the neck. Only those who squirm will feel it. Those first knights were mere prototypes. Powerful, yes, but not imbued with half the power of mine. They've been cast in such terrible terms. Death Knight, Dread Lord, Blood Devil. In fact, as I bring them to life, I see only angels of mercy. My knights are growing in number and strength, forged of tenebrium, born of blood stone. They will march Rivellon toward her ultimate fate. Very good, Source Hunter. While you've been using Starstones to leap through portals on your shelter plane, I've been using Bloodstones to craft a reality of my own here in Rivellon. These are my children, you see. Born not only of the blood of the sacrificed, but of my own blood as well. Thus imbued, my knights will march where I ask them to march. How far is it from here to your shelter plane, incidentally? Perhaps as close as the zap of a special stone, from what I've heard. Still, you misunderstand me, Source Hunter. I crave no cries of terror, only peaceful silence. My army is nearly ready. Since you've come so far, perhaps you'd like to see the culmination of my Immaculate's efforts. Maybe then you'll understand the fruitlessness of this war you're waging upon the inevitable.
Goddess, greetings, Wanderer. What brings you to this house of the Goddess during these troubled times? A what? No, no, certainly not. I serve Astarte, our great goddess. A bishop of the source am I, in life and in death. I ought to box your ears and tie your black tongue. A source hunter, you say? And what does your mission entail exactly? Chasing down the ill and wounded, healed by source and executing them? That's impossible, absurd. Our Astarte is the great bringer of light, of order, of healing. No, I don't know what strange land you are from, wanderer, or why you've come to her temple to spread such lies and gossip, but I think it best if you take your blasphemy elsewhere. The goddess's home, of course, her house of worship. Here she'll return when she's finished her great work. Yes, when she returns, she'll rejoin her beloved and loving flock here in this very temple.
My champion, my healer and protector. How delightful it is to see you again. Oh, I'm doing dandy. Thank you for asking. My wound is quite healed. A bit tender still, but coming along nicely. The powers that be have been going quite easy on me since we've been here. In fact, I'm expecting a promotion from Beast of Burden to House Guardian any day now. Better house, better food, and less cargo carrying shall soon be my lot. Our little adventure hasn't changed them all that much, I think. We're still kindly enough, without being truly affectionate to me, but I'm not one for cuddling anyway. They bicker too, just like they always used to, but with a playful glint in their eyes I never really saw before. And the strange noises they sometimes make in the night, they do happen rather more frequently. Perhaps they got a chill in the woods, poor souls.
My, I see you appear and everything brightens. Such is the joy you have brought us. Please be ever welcome in our new establishment. I'm swell and settled here in Silver Glen. I have a roof over my head instead of menacing forest canopies looming above. I have a cosy bed to sleep in instead of moss and leaves to lie on. I have a husband to cuddle come the night instead of having to stand and watch for bloodthirsty beasts that hunt by the moon. As you can tell, dear friend, I am well indeed. Oh, he's doing peachy, as am I. We do still feel great sadness for what happened to our friends in Hunter's Edge, but the selfish side that houses in every soul is mighty glad we made it out together. A new smithy, a new life. The gods are kind to us.
Welcome, your knightship. Oh, be welcome indeed. As you can see, we have set up shop here in Silverglen. And as a matter of course, you'll get my wares at prices that no one else has a right to claim from me. I've a song in my heart and a spring in my step, my liege. I've had orcs on my tail and bandits to boot, and yet I live. How can I be anything but happy? Oh, the smithy's doing grandly, your knightship. Thanks to your valiant rescue of Alfie, I haven't had to abandon my most valuable gear, which means my products are up to the high standards you may expect from Bjorn Stoutborn, for such is my name and such is my reputation. She's alive and kicking, my liege, just like she always was. Oh, certainly she can be a handful, but I wouldn't really have it any other way. We survived thanks to you, and each hour we are together I count as a blessing.
Oh no, Pantomime. So you found the Tenebrium? A grand feeling to have bested the King of Trolls, isn't it? Huh? Hand the blighted stuff over and you'll be privy to every damnable secret this place has been hoarding.
Time to give Brandon the Tenebrium and learn the secrets of Silverglen.
That's right. I'm very interested to learn what Brandon has to share.
Sakes alive! I knew I could count on you. Now it's my turn to make good. I'll be happy to share with you the not-so-little secret of these mines. For starters, Source Hunter, you already know that this is a volatile material. What you might not know is that there are ways to handle it that can diminish or even prevent its negative effects. All it takes is a little know-how. Here, I'll show you. And if you're ever looking for a full cure, I'd recommend visiting the Immaculate Chapel. Nod your way through their little sermons and they'll give you access to a special mineral that can heal even the worst cases of rot. Now that there's a handy bit of information. But the real secret is yet to come, my friend. Lardance, the bloke from the mining guild, ordered dozens of men to extract tenebrium from these here mines, knowing full well that doing so was as good as sending them to their deaths. Beasts of burden, he called the miners, and said that the guild'd turn a profit quicker if the men mined the stuff lickety-split, before the rot ran its full course. I've got a letter here from the mining guild to Mr. Lardance himself, proving everything I've claimed. You can have the damn thing. I've sat on this secret long enough. There, it's yours. Thanks to your help, I'll retire a wealthy man, far, far away from this godforsaken pit. I'm no man to refuse a source hunter. Ask away, friend. If Lardance had had the smallest modicum of patience, either to teach them men how to safely handle tenebrium or to wait for the goblins to show up, Ben's death could have been easily avoided. Well, I'm off with little more to me name than a small fortune here in me pocket. Farewell to you, source hunter, and good riddance, Silver Glen.
It is not easy to understand this, Lawrence. He had food, clothes, and gold enough. How could he have let others die so that he could gain more? In Home Forest, we kill to eat or to protect ourselves. What reason could Lawrence have to take more than he could use, and to let his fellows die for it too?
Have a good time. Sweetheart. Oh, if I had a star for every time you brighten my day, I'd have a galaxy in my hand.
Cut it away like brush for a fire. Use it to fuel the pyres of those he as good as killed.
Oh, you startled me. Let me compose myself. Hello, stranger. How can I help you? Oh, me? Oh, I'm just the waitress around here, as you can see. My husband, Blosius, is a legionnaire currently stationed in Sicil, but I haven't heard from him in far too long. He's Will? But that means he's... Oh, no. Oh, not my cutie, broody buttercup.
That world-weary face is giving me shivers. What do you say we take a load off together? I do suppose I could find some way to entertain you. Oh, sugar, that's a story for another day, ain't it? Speaking of, yours and mine has hardly begun. What say we get better acquainted upstairs? I've got all kinds of, details to share with you. Is he a gentle troll? Would he benefit from my particular expertise, you think? It is strange, but, well, if you're willing to pay me on behalf of your toll-taking friends, I'll be glad to keep him company. I do believe 2,050 gold should cover it. And I'll take that gold. Cheers, darling. Well, I guess I'll be off to visit Mr. Troll then. He's the one closest to town, yeah? At least I won't have to run far if he gets too fidgety. See you around, sweetheart.
So, unless I'm very much mistaken, we just paid a courtesan to cheer up a lonely troll.
What's wrong with that? The fella needed cheering, and that's what she'll do.
When you put it like that, I guess you could say we performed an act of great kindness.
Hello again, Your Grace. What? The only brilliant solution you could come up with was to blow up the entire mine? Keep your filthy goblin's head. What use have I for such garbage now that the entire mine is in rubble? You've ruined each and all of us, you low-down, backbiting, rat-faced nincompoop. What'll I tell the men? Better yet, what'll you tell them? Oh, begone from my sight. But, Your Grace, I'd never. Oh, damn it all to hell in a handbasket. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, so the jig's up, eh? So what if I let those back-asswards yokels mine the tenebrium? I paid 'em well enough. And if they got sick, it's no one's fault but their own. I'll tell you what. You keep this little factoid between us, and I'll make it worth your while. How's 1,000 gold sound? That's quite a heap of cash for nothing more than silence.
Lawrence's crimes amount to murder. No amount of money can absolve him of responsibility.
Indeed. This free market is in dire need of some regulation.
Well, be a saint if you like. Not all of us have that luxury. Business is a dog-eat-dog world. I wouldn't expect you to have learned much about reality at your little Source Hunter Academy.
Friend, champion of my heart, I cannot describe my rapture. A ruby you have brought me, more precious than any other on this earth. Happiness, he has returned in all his sunny glory. For this unparalleled service, I must repay you. Have it back, the fee you paid on my behalf. Let sordid gold not stand between our friendship. My thanks, oh champion of my soul, my undying thanks.
I'm kind of in the middle of something here, sugar. Fumble just can't get enough of my stories. Such a sweet old thing he is. The poor darling felt all alone in the wide world, but now he's pleased as peppers. And to say true, I am too.
Wait, stop! Can it be? A Source Hunter? Oh, my fortune, my fate! I am saved! They're coming for me. They know I've escaped, and they won't stop until they've sliced me in two and corrupted my corpse with darkness. The cult, the dark heart of the Immaculates, the corrupted few who lead their trusting converts upon a path paved with Source. Well, they won't stop until they've silenced me. And worse, I am Samid, once a humble miner, once a devoted Immaculate, now a refugee in flight from both religion and home. I once counted myself among their most faithful. Such a devotee to the Immaculate Way was I that I rose swiftly through its ranks, became privy to each of the esoteric rituals of the Immaculate method. But in time, I discovered too much. When I was granted access to Sacred Stone, the most protected Immaculate village, I watched with horror as our enlightened leaders unabashedly performed darkest Source magic. I immediately reported this corruption to our highest priest, Lady Attenbearer. I'll never forget her laugh, mirthless and savage. She was one of them, a sorcerer. I escaped that terrible place as quickly as my feet could fly. And now, you must do what I cannot. You must end the darkness that has consumed the Immaculate Way, the source that corrupts it. To gain access to that nest of vipers, you'll have to become one of us. One of them, that is. Speak to Loic, the Immaculate Abbot of the village to the north. Silver Glen, it's called. He'll be only too eager to gain another convert, and only the initiated are granted access to Sacred Stone. Source Hunter, in the name of the innocent Immaculates, those unaware of the fanged head that leads them, I pray you will expose the truth. So many of us sought only spirit. We had no idea what we'd be asked to sacrifice in return.
The goddess is the word. Through the conduit she speaks, and through me her wisdom is repeated. How may I enlighten you? Then it shall be my pleasure to answer them.
You find yourself in the goddess's temple. Therefore, it follows she wants you to take the true path. So here, have this hallowed tome. Read it. Absorb the wisdom within. Then find the second part and do with it the same. If an immaculate you want to be, a test of knowledge shall be your first step towards enlightenment. Do you hold it to be true, O Seeker, that you are ready to be tested? A most sacred trio of queries shall I put before thee, but even if thou falterest but a single time, unworthy will thou be deemed of the goddess's love. Blessed be your willing spirit. We commence. Premise the first. In honor of the goddess, that which was stellar must become sanguine. Correct?
Correct.
Agreed. That is correct.
Premise the second. The blood of the greater should be used in service of the lesser, so that balance may be achieved. Correct?
Incorrect.
Yes, that is incorrect.
Premise the third. Only those who have partaken in the spilling of blood and thereby created the stone that lives, the stone soaked with blood, may be called an immaculate. Correct?
Correct.
Agreed. That is correct.
Most gratifying. Oh yes, most exemplary indeed. You have understood the words of the goddess, and I deem you worthy of her true test, of the true trial that shall make you an immaculate. To become an immaculate, you must experience both the goddess's bane and her boon. Leave Silver Glen and take the western path. Follow it to where the winds howl and a great skull looms within the rocks. There you will find it, the hollow and the true trial within. Immaculate guards bar the way, but tell them you have my blessing and they shall let you pass. But take utmost care. The road is beset with horrors, and your mettle will be truly tested before you've even set foot within the goddess's trial. You've got the look of one tested and ready for such a challenge. I bid thee good luck.
In her holy name, halt! You shall not tread upon this immaculate road! Has rot taken your ears? I say this is an immaculate road. Only those blessed with Loic's sanction may pass here. Ah, you have passed the test. That means you must be on your way to the true trial. Congratulations, Initiate. You are more than welcome to proceed. Be on your guard, though, for vicious creatures crawl upon the sands. Find the skull of stone, but don't stray any further unless you wish to face foes greater than those that haunt most dreamscapes. It pleases me to suppose that one of your strength and ability may soon join our ranks. Future friend. Yeah, I believe you stand a fair chance against the trials that await you.
My friend, did you hear? That man said the one called Attenborough is nearby. We must find this village sacred stone. I am certain Jarrett has been taken there. And if it is where Attenborough rules, it seems these immaculates are not all as I have heard.
Out of the way, human scum! Your stink is making my eyes sting! Hiss. I wouldn't make an enemy of Kadreska's pigskin unless you fancy being swarmed by the legions of eight-legged friends I have at my beck and call. If you're not interested in purchasing the finest goblin wares in Rivellon, I'd prefer to go somewhere your stench can't insult me. Yes, Pigskin, they run this territory, except the goblin village, of course. But I can know full well how to deal with the Spider Queen. quite a valuable piece of knowledge in these parts, as you'll come to find out. Though I suppose a sack of gold, the weight of 1,300 coins, might put me in the mood to share. I'm a business goblin first, pigskin, so let's make a deal. Here's what I know. The Spider Queen is not so different from any other monarch. That is to say, Rat Billy, that she loves a little sweet talk.
Oh! Oh my, oh my, oh my. You can speak! Oh dear. Oh gracious. Oh, Ralphie, Ralphie, Ralphie. This is your luckiest day of days. Psst! Friend, you must help me. Oh goodness. Oh dear, I beg you. This goblin you see before me, my so-called master, is a cruel and ruthless beast. This may be my only chance to seek help, so I won't waste a moment. Friend, if you have a shred of decency in your bones, you must kill this goblin. Please, I must be free. And if you'll help me, I'll help you. I know all there is to know about the goblins of Luculla, and I know their greatest weakness too. A secret I'll happily share once I'm free from this goblin's claws. Please, kill the brute.
Move it, you idiot.
The savage! We'd be honored to free you from this goblin's tyranny.
Cruelty befits the cruel, I say. Let's lay the fiend low.
1,000 thanks to you, friend. Start with his eyes, I say. You did it! Hero, friend, ally, and patron. You saved my hide 1,000 lashings, and for this I'll shout your praises. Yes, shout them! Why? Because I'm a free warlock! Friend, I can think of no other than you who deserves this precious piece of information. I'll now reveal the goblin's greatest weakness, the way to topple every last one of them. Goblins can be crafty and shrewd, my friends, but in matters of superstition they are as simple as snails. They'll abide every last directive given by the totem that stands in the middle of their village, from run in circles till you collapse to drink a carafe of hemlock. Some say the totem is possessed of a powerful demon, but I've seen the village shaman creeping off to a little cave on the outskirts of the village, and shortly after she creeps, a certain goblinly voice comes hissing from the totem. Whoever has access to that cave, friend, controls the village. This much I know for certain. For my part, I'll make my home and fortune elsewhere, north to the Phantom Forest, where I'll be safe from whip-wielders and bridle yankers forevermore.
Oh, bless you for coming to Frederick's aid. He's been attacked, turned upon by his imp slave, cast down this hillside like an aged parent of a cragged sea cliff, left to be devoured by arachnid monstrosities. Who Frederick is unimportant. He is naught but a cog in the machinery of the greater good. But since you asked, since you cannot bear to remain unknowing of this person, Frederick will tell you this. He is a devotee to the goddess, to the Church of the Immaculate, to liberty, destiny, justice, and beauty, to scholasticism, mysticism, aphorism, nepotism, neologism, disestablishmentarianism, and the undead right to life. Frederick finds himself wary of it, to be quite honest. Don't look so surprised. Imps have a long history of compulsory service to the superior races of Rivellon. Frederick would be a fool to refuse the services of the realm's finest bloodstone-sniffing beast on moralistic grounds, no matter how humane or well-reasoned. A valuable artifact, precious like the silence in a house newly emptied of a visiting mother-in-law. It is able to heal even the gravest wounds, and it is a key component of the Immaculate Faith. Frederick had hoped to retrieve the shard and be welcomed into the Immaculate Fold with open arms befitting his value. But now he'll need it to heal the broken leg he suffered at the hands of that wretched imp. It is told the shard belonged to the wizard Maradino, whose secret lair the perceptive traveler can find atop the very cliff that stands behind Frederick. Frederick may be over-eager, like a grandfather slavering over his supper several hours before the fall of evening, but if you could retrieve the stone along with the criminal imp who left him here to die, Frederick would regard you with the highest esteem.
You'd greet us dressed in rags, willfully challenging us with your insolent stare, when your nose ought to be pressed to the ground. Our Highness won't tolerate such disrespect in our own royal chamber. Not for a moment longer. Be that as it may, each and all of our children must learn to respect our station, and we'll hardly risk spoiling them by sparing the fang.
By all that is holy, must we persist through these sands where spiders dwell. I hate them with fury and fear. Some say that all creatures are creations of the gods. If this be true, then surely spiders are the exception. Such things could only have crept into existence from within the very bowels of hell's most rancid devil spawn. Avoid them if you can, please. They stir something deep within me, a primal dread that claws at the soul. I thank you for your understanding. Many would mock such a seemingly senseless neurosis. But that is the point entirely. It is irrational. Irrational because it is the nightmare of the dark, the child's fear of the long-taloned ghoul under the bed. It is something I can neither fathom nor control. And though it shames me, it does remind me I am but human still. Once in a while, I admit I welcome such a reminder.
Gadasha the Bountiful be praised that we have made it out of that hell-sent sandstorm. The hour grows so very late, so very quickly. Pace-slowing impediments such as these will be the death of us should they persist. I've told you parts of the saga that is my life, Hunter, but I have yet to divulge the true reasons for my haste. Perhaps, at long last, I had better do so. So I shall. I did. Yes, I hissed, fool that I was. I should have died that day, but instead I fell into a stupor and awoke in a different realm of Rivellon, bereft of all my wealth, and with my soul betrothed to a demon's debauchery that would be 10 centuries in the making. But it had also kept its promise, that life-seeding obscenity of a creature, for I was my young, my healthy self again. And yet my bodily convalescence merely betrayed my utter mental degradation. A necromancer and a demonologist I had become, a lowly conjurer of atrocities whose every heartbeat screamed Hiraka, and pumped the bitterest of biles through my being. Like a savage, I lived in the wilds, a companion of beasts, not man. It was there that I learned to love them so, the animals of this world. These gentle beings that don't know the meaning of betrayal or greed, that kill but to feed, not because it brings them wealth or pleasure. In time, resolve settled within my soul, despite being so irrevocably besieged by dissolution. I decided that I wouldn't accept the shackling of my being so easily. 1,000 years the demon had given me, and 1,000 years I dedicate to pitting my knowledge of demonology against its eponymous creatures. Yes, it is my resolve to kill the thing I summoned, and I have been stalking it for well over 9 centuries. I, Hunter, I am nearly 1,000 years old. 25 of them a king, the rest a restless predator. Balberith is the demon's name. If I don't find and slay him before the year is out, my soul will be his to torture eternally. Now you know what drives me. Now you know the reasons for my haste. Either I fail and suffer for all time, or I win and life everlasting will be mine. My instincts tell me he hides from sight in Phantom Forest. I could have guided you there, of course, but your own quest seems to push us inevitably in that haunted realm's direction. Maybe we'll both find answers. Answers and conclusions in that ghoulish grove where phantoms dwell. That is a good question. As for Hiraka, I don't know what happened to her. I have seen my erstwhile palace from afar, a ruin now, a house of wind and dust. Beyond a doubt she moved on and lies, as we speak, in the arms of another king, assuring him he's only a bit under the weather, that his humors will be in balance again within a matter of days. Poor man. Like all men, he's a fool. Oh, but how I long to be wise. There has to be a first, hasn't there? If I can look her in the eye and denounce her, that shall be a start. But perhaps that day will never come. Born a fool and buried a fool. Perhaps that is simply how it must be.
What a life it is that Jehan has led. Like listening to a great tragedy. A tragedy that is about to come to an end.
To an end, yes. A tragedy no longer. There's time yet to slay that demon and save Jehan.
Indeed. Balberith be damned. Jehan has source hunters by his side now.